It's that time of the year where the Ballon d'Or is given to the so-called best player. This year, it looks like it's going to be given to Vinicius Jr. based on all the leaks that have been going out. But this video is not about me making predictions. It's about my top 10 nominees for the Ballon d'Or, with number 1 being the winner overall. But before we begin, I want to give some honorable mentions. It may be surprising some of you based on the shirt I'm wearing, but in here I have Haaland, Foden, Grimaldo, and Yamal. I have Haaland in this honorable mention list because, based from what I remember, he had a big fall off from his first year. He did have a lot of goals, 45 goals in all competitions. He won the Prem, but I just think other people have done better. And I also wanted to mention him because I think he got robbed in the 22-23 award. They gave it to Messi. They weren't done with Messi's nuts in their mouth, so they gave it to him. I also have Foden in here. He got the best player of the season award for the Prem, but his Euros games were terrible. It sort of put a bad taste in everybody's mouth for Foden, and even now he can't even get into the team. Yamal's in here too. I think Yamal's gonna be winning the young player one. I forget what it's called, the Copa trophy, something like that. And I just think if you win that one, you shouldn't be in the Ballon d'Or list. Grimaldo's in here too. I think he had a great season at Leverkusen, and he technically won the Euros, but he didn't really contribute anything to it. I feel like if he was more of a defensive player, a defensive fullback, he would have been chosen over Cucurella. And well, that's just not him, and he missed out. So now let's begin with my actual list. In 10th place, I have Emi Martinez. Before making my top 10, I was looking at the nominees, and I was wondering why Emi was here, but then I went into his stats, and he had 27 clean sheets last season in all competitions, and I think he played around 60 games, something like that. So half of his games he had clean sheets, and that's an incredible stat. I felt like I had to give him some props, even though I hate him with all my heart. I hate this guy, but he deserves some respect. He led Aston Villa to a top 4, and he also won the Copa America. And in that Copa America victory, he was a big pivotal part to it. He was unstoppable. Yeah, I think 7 of his clean sheets were in the Copa America. And also, I think there needs to be more respect to other parts of the pitch other than just attackers. Next up, in 9th place, I have Mbappe. Maybe some of you think it's a little too low to have Mbappe in 9th place, but I think the League One tax needs to be taken into consideration. I think the League One isn't good, and it's just PSG. It's proven year after year that PSG win the league all the time. He did have 52 goals and 21 assists, which is great. That's why he's on here. But I don't think that is enough to push him further up. If he would have had a better Euros or a better Champions League, then I would have considered him higher. But he didn't, so 9th is as far as he's going to get. Next up is Harry Kane in 8th place. Kane had the exact same amount of goals as Mbappe, but he didn't win any trophy. But I don't think that should matter, since Harry Kane won 3 separate Golden Boot awards. The one for the Bundesliga, the one for the Champions League, and the Euros. I think if you get 3 separate Golden Boots, I think you deserve a big shout out. I was looking at Kane, I was wondering where the hell he's gonna go in the list, because he didn't win any trophies, but 3 Golden Boots is a big accomplishment. He's still kicking ball out there in Germany, and I think he deserves his props. Next up in 7th place is Lautaro Martinez. Lautaro won the Serie A with Inter, and he also won the Copa America with Argentina. Lautaro was another player that got himself a couple Golden Boots. He got 2, one in the Serie A and then in the Copa America. To be honest, I don't think Lautaro is even good. Every time I see him, he's awful, but somehow he manages to score. I think it's just he gets so many chances that he's bound to put them in. So I didn't really want to put him in here or this high, but he was winning trophies. I think he was another pivotal part to Argentina winning the Copa America. Clearly a pivotal part in Inter, so I think he deserves the shout out. Next up is Wirtz from Leverkusen in 6th place. So Wirtz, or all of Bayern really, or Bayer Leverkusen, had a great season. They were all one game away from winning a treble. It isn't the best treble, but it was a treble. But they lost their final game in the Europa League. Lookman had another plan for them and put 3 on them, crazy stuff. But that still doesn't take away from how good their season was. Wirtz had 21 goals and 21 assists, crucial for both teams, or Bayer Leverkusen and Germany. He had a wonderful season. In Germany, if Germany would have beaten Spain, would have taken it to pens, beaten Spain, they would have made it to the finals and won, in my opinion. Those two were the best teams, and if that would have happened, Wirtz would have been even higher in this list. I think Leverkusen guys are getting, not mistreated, but aren't given the love they deserve. I was even debating getting Xhaka in here, but I think one player was enough. But yeah, Wirtz in 6th place for me. Next up, it may shock a lot of you, but in 5th place, I have Vinicius Jr. So Vinny had 26 goals and 12 assists in all comps. He won the Champions League and he won La Liga. I don't know about you guys, but I think this guy is being overrated as right now, because this guy, I think he's not even top 3 best Madrid players, or for last season. He wasn't top 3. I haven't mentioned the other 3 guys, but you'll figure out soon. I don't think he was a pivotal part or put the team on his back like people are saying in both the Champions League and La Liga. Like, that was not him. That was not his job. He didn't do that. This was probably one of Vinny's worst seasons. I don't get where people are saying he was the best player. He deserves it. Like, I don't see it. Maybe another year. Maybe he could have challenged Benzema when he won it, but not now. This is not his year. And if he wins it, this has to be the worst winner of all time. This was a horrendous season for him. And to top it all off, cherry on top, he had all of Brazil had a terrible Copa America. Why can't you consider his terrible international trophy or international competition performances, but you can consider the England players' terrible performances like Kane and Foden? You can't do that. You have to consider them both. And Vinny had a terrible Copa America. And if Vinny wins it, I think the Ballon d'Or just loses its credibility. It's a joke. Okay, now that all that is out of my system, in 4th place we have Bellingham. Bellingham had 27 goals, 17 assists in all comps, better than Vinny. He won the Champions League and La Liga like Vinny. I think arguably he had a better international performance with England. It was terrible, but he had a better one than Vinny. And Jude is actually a guy who put the team on his back for the beginning of their season. I couldn't stop hearing Jude getting that last minute winner all the time for Madrid. I think he was one of the guys that, if you look back at that season, you're like, yeah, he carried. He did his part. Without Bellingham, Madrid wouldn't have won as many goals or as many games as they did. Jude's clutch gene really came in clutch for them and saved them a lot of points. Next up, in 3rd place, I have Cruz. Cruz had 1 goal and 12 assists, pretty low, but he was a DM. He was he controlled the tempo of the team. He also won the Champions League and La Liga. And in the Euros, he was decent. I think he could have done better. Could have put more in, but it was all right. I think Cruz retired at the peak of his career. He had a great season, arguably his best season, and he, retired. I guess that was a good thing for him. Maybe he didn't want to play anymore. I don't know. But Cruz is another guy that put more into that Madrid team than Vinny. Cruz was a facilitator. He was a tempo maker. He was creative. He was everything for the team. I think if you take out Cruz, the team looks levels below, and you can see that right now. They don't have that Cruz player in the team, and they look worse. And people were also saying that Vinny did wonders in that Bayern game in the semifinals. that pass that was given to Vinny was Cruz. Cruz told him to run. He just used his pace. Cruz was the one that opened up the whole midfield and defense and just created that goal. He was that goal. And then also, Vinny got 2 goals in that game. The other one was a pen, which he didn't get. It was Rodrigo. I don't know. I don't get why this guy is getting all this love. And also, they're giving him the final as well. They're giving him love for the final. I'll talk about that in a little bit. Now we're down to the last 2 players. You can probably pick out one. Maybe the other one is a little hard to get because I have him pretty damn high. I actually have him winning the whole thing, but that's for first place. Right now in second place, I have Rodri. I think Rodri was City's best player last season. Foden, I guess he did good to get that to get the player of the season, but I think Rodri should have gotten it. Rodri had 12 goals and 15 assists in all comps. He won the league for with City, and he won the Euros. Rodri is miles ahead of, well, maybe not last season over Cruz, but he was miles over all the other DMs and arguably all the other players in just what he contributes to a team. He's almost like Cruz, facilitating, playmaking, but I feel like he does a little bit more because he also gets in the box. He will take a shot. Cruz does too, but maybe it's a little biased, but I think Rodri's just better. I just think Rodri doesn't get the love he deserves. Maybe now he does, but I just think the only people that really get love in these awards are attackers or forwards, like strikers and wingers. And I think it's time to just cut that out and actually give love to everyone on the pitch. Everybody on the pitch contributes to a team. That's why there's 11 different positions, because they all do something different and they all contribute to their goals of winning games and winning trophies. And that's why I have my winner in number 1 place as Carvajal. Leave your comments down below. Call me stupid. I don't care. I think Carvajal was top tier this season or last season. Carvajal as a fullback, he had 7 goals and 8 assists. He was contributing to the team. He had 21 clean sheets. He won the Euros. He won La Liga. He won the Champions League. All those accolades, you can't just say, he's a defender, put him lower. You can't do that. He was a part of the team. He was a leader. He's a goddamn leader. For both Spain and Madrid, he's a leader. Without this guy, they don't go too far. Either team don't go as far. Especially for Madrid. Vinny was giving that love for the final against Dortmund. He's the one that broke the deadlock. He's the one that had a header for his height, which is crazy, a header in that near post, and he broke the deadlock against Dortmund. It wasn't Vinny who got that second goal. That goal was just to solidify it. But Carvajal was the one who started it. He also co-captain. I won't say captain because Morata was the captain. Shouldn't be. It's Carvajal. Carvajal has more experience, more of a leader. You can actually respect the guy, unlike Morata. But yeah, he co-captained Spain to the Euros. I just think this guy deserves love, especially after this career he's had, and he's still going, which is crazy. He's still going after all these years. Underrated fullback, just underrated player. I think that the Ballon d'Or really needs to stop giving it to attackers if they don't deserve it, and start looking at other places in the pitch. And that's what I did here with my list. I really do hope that it changes. In the 21st century, in the last 24 years, there's only been 3 people that weren't attackers. 3 players. And I think that needs to change, especially since this Ronaldo and Messi era is gone. It's over. It's part of this new era now, and I think we need to start giving it to new positions on the field. But yeah, this is my list, my top 10. Tell me what you think in the comments. Like, subscribe, and yeah, thank you for watching.